Hi everyone, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a demo review of the Fractal AM4. First of all, we will hear the unit in action with the demo song, then we will describe the unit in details, then we will hear more sounds in a dedicated section of this video, where we will also build together a signal chain, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please subscribe and ring the bell, as it really helps me to create more videos like this. Let's start, and I can already tell you that this is a great unit which is just missing something on top, as the demo song title. Let's describe the AM4 in details, and we have a lot to talk about. First of all, it offers 247 amps and 45 cabs. To be noticed that the real amp modeled are less than 247, as an amp with different channels is counted many times. For instance, in a Plexi we have 3 different models, one for the normal channel, one for the treble one, and one when jumpering the 2 channels. We can load 2 cabs at the same time, and each of them has 4 mics that we can place in the cab wherever we want. For the amps, we have all the basic amp settings that are coherent with the amp modeled. Furthermore, there is an expert edit function which allows us to access more settings like the preamp tube, the sag, the variac, the impedance curve, the mic preamp, etc. This is super cool. I mean, Fractal really excels in this area. No other unit in the market offers the level of deep tweakability that Fractal unit offers. Furthermore, in the AM4, the cab and the amp share the same effect block, where in the other Fractal units they are located in two different blocks. Of course, we can upload our own IRs in 256 IR slots. But well, the ultra res IRs are so good and nicely tweakable that I would suggest just to use the ones inside the unit. The unit offers 104 presets organized in 26 blocks of 4 presets each. Each preset has 4 scenes and 4 channels. Scenes are typically used to differentiate each preset in terms of effects or channel that are switched on or off or selected, where each channel can manage different parameters of the knobs available for the effect blocks. Honestly, I would have preferred scenes that can manage both the possibility to switch on and off effects and change parameters, as it is easier to understand and operate, in my opinion, where the combination of channels and scene is more flexible. As for instance, when you change a parameter using the channel, that change affects all the scenes. The AM4 can work in preset mode, scene mode, amp mode or effect mode, according to your needs, but not in mixed combinations. For instance, using the first 2 foot switches in scene mode and the other 2 in effect mode, at least as far as I understood. If you know how this can be done, please leave a comment in the comment section below. In terms of effects and effect chain management, we have 16 different effects that we can arrange in a 4 blocks effect chain. We can change the order of the effects in the signal chain, but we cannot replicate the same effects many times. So here I would say that the choice of effects is wide, as we have many different effects at our disposal, but the signal chain is pretty limited with just 4 effect blocks, no parallel chains and without the possibility to replicate the same effect many times. On the other hand, we can say that there are a gate located in the input block and a parametric EQ in the output block, so that we could say that the unit offers 6 blocks. As I said, considering the fixed gate and the EQ located in the input and output blocks respectively. More on the effect chain in my 2 cents section of this video. In terms of I/O, the unit has a guitar input, 2 balanced outputs via TRS cables, a stereo effect loop via TRS jacks, 2 inputs for external controllers or expression pedals, MIDI I/O via mini jacks, and an headphone out. To be noticed that the insert point of the external effect is fixed and placed after the effects and just before the balanced output. In this way, I guess, we should have 0 latency added using the effect loop, being it in the analog domain. This is clever. Of course, we will check out the latency of this device in a dedicated video. It can serve as an audio interface at 24 bits and 48 kHz with 4 USB-C channels. Furthermore, we can connect the unit digitally to another device thanks to the SBD I/O. And this is nice, of course. In fact, it saves us an ADA conversion trip and therefore it saves us from adding latency. It is especially useful in a unit like this that is pretty limited in terms of effect chain, and therefore it can be enriched with other digital devices, as I said, without adding latency, if the other devices has SPDIF ports. Of course, we have a computer app which is dedicated to the AM4. I mean, it is different from the standard one we are used with the FM3 or the FM9. In fact, we need a dedicated computer app to manage the pretty different settings of the AM4 compared to the other Fractal units. I would add that so far we don't have a looper and that there is a tuner built in. In the setup page we can also decide to activate or deactivate the power amp and the cab modeling in order to use this device as just a preamp. The dimensions and weight are shown in the screen, and it runs at 9 volts DC and 1.5 amperes. The external supply is included in the box. Let's now hear some more sounds. There is something else that I need. Welcome in the more sound section of this video. Here I would like to share with you how I have set up the tone of the demo song, which I really love and enjoy. In this way we can also check out how to build a signal chain together. Let's start from the comping part. I wanted a kind of modern version of the Stevie Ray Vaughan tone, which I think is perfect for the demo song. It is glassy and spongy and allows me to play it with very clear note separations and dynamics. I went for the Fender Vibrolux for the amp, as I think it is a good starting point for the tone I have in mind. I would start with the gain at the maximum level, the bright switch activated, and with bass and treble at noon. Let's check it out. I would remove some bass, adding some treble. Okay, now I think I need to push it a little bit more with the treble booster, with high volume and low drive. Let's hear it. Okay, now let's check out the cabinet. Here I would leave the original Vibrolux 1x12 cab, just using a condenser mic and a ribbon one. The ribbon is very close and almost at the center, where the condenser mic is more decentered. And now a nice touch with the mic preamp. This is a very light touch and suitable, but so cool. Okay, the resulting tone is really enjoyable in my opinion and fits perfectly with the tune. And now I would add a spring reverb and a ping-pong delay, creating a scene for the lead tone. Of course, we all want more gain for our leads parts, so I would just select another channel for the treble boost, adding more gain. So here I'm basically combining the scene and the channel functions of the unit to have different effects active in the chain, just switching the scene. Here I have to say that I'm not a fan of this solution. I would prefer scenes with also the possibility to change the knobs of the effect. But this is what this is. And now let's hear the lead tone. Amazing, I love it. As I said, it is very articulated. The note separation is clear, the dynamic is nice. It's a joy to play. I would also be able to have the third and fourth foot switch to switch on the reverb and the tap tempo, having kind of a mix between the scene and the effect modality with which this unit runs. But this is not possible. So to activate the tap tempo, I just need to press together the two last switches, and in order to mimic the reverb on and off, I just create other two scenes which are basically copy of the first two with the reverb switched on. Now these four scenes allows me to do what I wanted to do. Let's now jump to my final considerations. There is something else that I need. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use cases, and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, I have purchased this unit with my own money, and this video is not paid nor sponsored, so I really kindly ask you to subscribe and ring the bell to help me to create more videos like this. Okay, let's talk about the pros and the cons. The first big pro is of course the sound. I mean, here in this little device we have the famous amp and effect tones for which Fractal is well known and respected. I think it sounds great. All the amps are well modeled, and that vibrato looks that I have used in the demo song is so satisfying and nice to play. I enjoy it a lot. Second, the tweakability in this unit, like in all the other Fractal units, is on another level. As I said many times, Fractal is the paradise of guitar amp nerds. We can change the pre or the power amp tubes, we have the impedance curve, we have the preamp mic. No other unit in the market offers this level of tweakability, and I have tried quite a lot of amp modeling pedalboards. Third, I love these size. It's compact and portable, which is nice. Fourth, it has balanced output and a stereo effect loop in the analog domain, which is very nice and a pretty clever idea. In fact, this could in part overcome the limitation of the only 4 effect blocks, giving us the possibility, for instance, to add an external effect, in theory without adding latency, or adding only the latency of the external effect. I will of course check out the latency of this device in a dedicated video. And now the cons. First of all, I would mention that the screen is not touch sensitive. Nowadays almost all the units, especially in this price range, offer touch sensitive screens, and I'm so used to them that when I started tweaking the AM4 I always touch the block I want to edit before recognizing that, well, it is not touch sensitive. Second, the signal chain is limited. I mean, only 4 blocks. I know that we can partially overcome this limitation as some effects incorporate other ones. For instance, the reverb offers also kind of delays or modulations. But I mean, honestly, it is not the same. And in my use case, I would always need just one more block. I mean, my typically use case is a drive, an amp plus cab, a chorus, delay and a reverb. And well, I think that many other guitarists are in my situation. Here for me it's pretty evident that Fractal wanted to save money on the DSP or wanted not to put this unit in competition with the FM3. But at 920 euros, well, having just 4 blocks is a bit limiting. In dollars it is a bit more properly priced, even if 700 plus taxes is still not a low price. As I said, here it is, in my opinion, pretty evident that Fractal wanted to save money or wanted not to put this unit in competition directly with the FM3, or wanted to push us to buy the AM4 plus the UP4, dropping other money. In my use case, I would for sure be obliged to add an external delay, like the Walrus Audio Meraki, which is analog, and I can place it in the stereo loop of this unit at the end of the chain, remaining in the analog domain. But of course the price of the resulting setup would be pretty high. So finally, despite loving this unit for its compactness, its sounds and its tweakability, it is quite hard for me to suggest you to buy it, considering the aforementioned limitations and the price. As I said at the beginning and in the demo song, it just misses something on top. I would suggest you to buy it if you are keen to add an external effect at the end of the chain, or an effect which has SPDIF connectivity that maybe you already own. Now please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. I'm really curious to know what do you think about this unit and about its pros and cons. We have now reached the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it would be of a great help. If you are interested in my IRs or in my tonics or NAM profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine and to my new EP, Art Love Freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.